Okay, but don't take the job then. Because if they're saying this is the quarterback we're
Come on, it's a
taking,
head
we're
coaching
doing
job.
X.
It's like the
Okay,
Lakers job. Niggas gonna take that, bro. Like
hey,
you gonna take the job, bro.
dude, let me tell you something. In the past 3 years, there hasn't been a team that has lost more games than 6 points or less than the Jets. Again, let's resurface to what
That
we said
tells me.
earlier. That tells me that it's coaching though, because you're making the same mistakes. I've watched Jets game where they blow back-to-back timeouts and they're under 2 minutes, and then they get to the goal line and they run out of time because they have no timeouts. Whose fault is that? These are the little mistakes that's constantly being made by the head coach. And you are right. He didn't have the quarterback he wants, right? Aaron Rodgers should get more blame because he is washed. But at the end of the day,
Those OC should go. I feel like
of
Hackett should be
course,
fired too because he's calling the plays. Like you
of
calling the
course,
offensive plays that are making us struggle. So I
Exactly.
think that's why people are upset. It's not that so much that Saleh's gone. It's that he leaves, but everybody else stays. Like, bruh, are you kidding me? That's crazy. Hackett should not still be calling plays, and the only reason why he's there on this team, which is the most annoying part to anybody who's an objective Jets fan, is because it's Rodgers' boy. That's crazy. People
well,
don't talking all this
apparently,
nepotism nonsense. He's there because he's Aaron Rodgers' boy.
the interim head coach, I don't know what her name is, Ishiam or something like that.
Ulbrich. He's
Yeah,
a defensive coordinator.
Okay. Yeah. So he's saying that as of right now, he's leaning towards giving somebody else the play calling duties as well. So
Right,
Hackett,
but so then what is
yeah,
Hackett there to do?
I don't know.
What do you?
I don't know.
It's like I'm not,
hold his boy helmet,
bro. It's like, dude, you run in a restaurant, you hire a chef. The chef can't do his job. You bring in another chef, and you just have. What do you have him serve the plates instead? You a chef? Can you cook or not, my G? If you can't cook, get out the kitchen. What we doing? Like, so I feel like again, I don't care. Jets business is none of my business. I'm not a Jets fan. Saleh was not a good coach. I thought they should have fired him last offseason. Just move on. There was a lot of good candidates out there. You have Jim Harbaugh coming back into the NFL. You got Mike Vrabel, who got let go by the Tennessee Titans. There was some legit. Bill Belichick was a free. Like, that's when they should have done it. When you do it 5 games in, by the way, when your season is still kind of in play, and there's two sides to look at it, actually, like, well, we could save our season, or we're just completely panicking. We feel like we got to blame somebody.
The
There's
AFC
always two
East is
sides.
still wide open. The AFC East is still wide open.
wide
Maybe they
open.
need that
That
change.
conference
They
is
need that
wide
spark. Facts.
We'll see. But what'll be interesting is if that spark doesn't happen, and like if the offense continues to struggle, particularly Aaron Rodgers, you can't take it back. Like now, it's like Rodgers should not. This has to be a.
How
We
many
gotta
years
at least
Rodgers
make a
on that contract?
Rodgers. Well, he just signed a new one, didn't he? Like he just signed a new 2 years on top of the year he had left. So he technically has 3 years under contract, and he says he want to play 4 more. I doubt Rodgers is playing 2 more years even.
Nah,
I wouldn't be surprised if he retired this offseason. This man is
dude,
getting killed. He does not look
killed.
good at all. Like,
Yeah.
so
He can't even move out there. Look like
right. So if that doesn't happen, if the Jets don't turn it around and make the playoffs, and I'm not talking about sneak in, they need to make a playoff run. This is a playoff run roster, and I feel like a lot of their players are not being like Brees Hall is one of the best dual backs in the league. And if they feel like they're not handing it off to him for a halfback dive, they're not using him. I'm like, Brees Hall caught like 70-some passes last year. Why is he not being used in the screen game?
Yeah.
That's like, it's like Saquon. You see Saquon just running up the gut. They put that man in motion, put him in space, let him catch the ball, make it. Like, he's a dynamic player. He can't break one by just running up the middle. He needs to get into a groove where now he wants to take a couple, like bounce. Like, they're not using the offensive personnel well. Even the tight ends, like you said it, Gene. This guy throws to Conklin only. Like, it's like there's nobody else on the field on Sunday outside of Conklin and Garrett Wilson. And we know why he fed Garrett Wilson a lot, because the noise was getting loud.
Well,
the noise was getting loud.
Actually, he looks at Lazard more than Wilson. But okay, but
buddy ball. We know that.
But if we keep it in the fact though, like that offensive line is, I think, ranked 28th in the NFL. You know, that's another issue that wasn't addressed. So, I mean, somebody posted a video on Twitter. It's like they're not giving him time to throw, and they're not creating any running lanes for their running backs. And this is
so
this
you know what's interesting.
This is going to year 3 of the O-line stinking. It was just a mountain of issues stacking up for Saleh. That's what it was.
So you know what's interesting, and we'll move on right after this. Regarding the O line, I saw a stat. I actually heard about it on the radio first, listened to sports radio, and then I went to look at it to confirm if it was true. As bad as the O line has looked, or at least like Rodgers has looked getting hit, this is like apparently the most amount of time per drop back that Rodgers has had in like years going back to Green Bay. So is it more so he's lost a step or two and is not able to react the same way that he did in Green Bay? Or is it really the O line? Is it, I mean, we know they can't run block. We can see that. They cannot, Brees has no room to run. But Aaron Rodgers is getting more time now than he's gotten literally in like the last 6 or 7 years of his career going back to Green Bay. So that's something that's interesting. Is it like Rodgers is declining in every facet, physically, mentally, the way he's seeing the game? Or is it just a combination of everything?
I just think he's just slowing down.
He's very slow now. Very slow.
Yeah, he's just slowing down like his whole game.
Listen, on their skills players, Garrett Wilson is the only like guy like really skillful. Alan Lazard has one of the worst hands. Coughlin is slow. So just like, and then their third wide receiver is Mike Williams, who's coming off an injury. So yeah, he might be getting extra time. And if you look at the Jets schedule, they played some pretty good cornerbacks. Patrick Surtain,
they played good,
you know. So their game plan was to take Garrett Wilson out the game. So when you only have Mike Williams, Lazard, and Coughlin, I don't care if you got 7 seconds back there. Like, them dudes ain't creating separation. You feel me? Like,
they lose. I'll say this: they lose on Monday night, and it's going to get dark. Like, you cannot lose to that Buffalo Bills team. Bro.
Listen,